Summer Game Fest 2024 and Xbox Game Showcase 2024 is now over. Just got finished looking at all of it, and I wanted to sit back a second and just give it some thought. And I'm just guessing maybe I should get an Xbox Series S. Maybe now I should get one. I never bought one. I always thought about getting one. I've been playing a lot of games on PC as far as the Xbox brand, and after seeing all of these games that are supposed to be coming out within the next year or two, I thought about just going in and bite the bullet and buy one because I am an Xbox guy at heart. I came from the Dreamcast era. I played a lot of Nintendo stuff before then, and once I got to the original Xbox, this was mostly was the console that I liked to play. Did play a lot of PS3, but it was just original Xbox. Even to this day, I love playing my original Xbox, even with the newer stuff I have. But I like what I see with the original. Not original. I like what I see with Xbox and what they've done with their showcase. I thought it was a really good showcase. I saw some games that I liked, some games that I thought that was interesting. And I know that the option to build another PC or just stick with the PC I have is an option if you want to play on Game Pass. But I do like the convenience of having just the box where I can just have it at Game Pass. For instance, I've had an Xbox. Here we go. You see that? I had an Xbox Series S at one point. And this bad boy here was cool until it wasn't. I'm not a big fan of the digital only stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. So I kept the box, traded the Xbox Series S in, and the rest was history. I was playing with my Xbox One X at one point, but that died on me. It does work, but not to its full capacity. Don't want to deal with that. So I thought about just going to get an Xbox Series X. So confusing. I thought about getting an X, and I was on the fence until I saw the showcase. And I'm thinking like, okay, I could play all of these games that are going to be day one on Game Pass on my PC. Cool. I know I can do that. I do want to build another PC as well. But one thing about my PC that I've started to learn and love is that I rather like to just use my PC for racing games and some shoot 'em ups. And that's basically what I've been doing. I've deleted some of the fighting games I've had. I've deleted a few adventure games I have. I have a pretty good extensive library on Steam and on my other clients that I have. But I just rather would play those on consoles at the end of the day. I just love playing racing games, like I said, and shoot 'em ups on my PC. So with that being said, should I go ahead and jump over back to the Xbox? I'm really thinking about it, and I may just do it. Now, there's also some other rumors about that Xbox is going to be working on a next-gen console. What should I do about that? Should I just wait till the next-gen console? To be honest, I think that next-gen console is probably going to be around, maybe 4 years from now. I think it's going to be like 2028 when that console comes out. I'm not sure if I want to wait that long. And I think that there's a lot of potential in the Xbox Series X, even in the PS5, that has just not been touched. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it ever will be touched. I think this is going to be a situation where these consoles is going to be similar to the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Those consoles could easily been pushed to the limits, but there's not many games been doing that. There's been few games that barely push the Xbox One and the PS4 to the limits, and it's really disheartening in that sense. So either way, I don't think I'm going to be missing out much if I just go ahead and get an Xbox Series X within the next few weeks. I think I can get at least a good 2 or 3 years of life out of it. Or even on top of that, the console is backwards compatible with a handful of original Xbox games and Xbox 360 games. So I can still use it for that capacity if they lean on the preservation side of things like they claim they're doing. But that's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into. Nevertheless, if I was to get one, it will be a Series X with the disc. I would not be getting the digital side of things because, like I said, I had one and I just kept the box. So I'm not a fan of all digital consoles. I don't know. But I mean, kind of hypocritical with me having a PC, right? But no, I don't know. It's just I just want to have the disc drive just to have it, just in case if I want to use it, there's always an option. Just like the PC, if I really wanted to use the disc, I can just go buy a DVD, CD drive, or whatever and rock out. So I do have the option regardless. So, but I think with all the things that we've seen in the showcase, I think the was actually good. I think the Summerfest was actually pretty good. This is one of the few times where you actually saw things that basically talked about games. There was no gimmicks. There was no craziness. It wasn't nothing trying to virtue signal. They were just trying to show you games. And that was the awesome part about it. And I loved every bit of it to the point where I am thinking about getting one of these. And on top of that, that Galaxy, that Black Galaxy one, I think that was called, or whatever you call it, that looks really cool. But I don't want to wait until holiday to get it. And it's a $600 console, albeit it does have 2 terabytes. Not necessarily worrying about the storage. You can get storage almost anywhere and be cool with whatever you want to put on your console. You don't have to necessarily get that one, but that would be pretty neat. It kind of reminds me of the Xbox Series, the Xbox One S, the 2 terabyte version of that. I thought that was really neat that they put 2 terabytes in. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the 2 terabyte is not necessarily the standard overall. Even when they came out with the 1 terabyte of storage, we realized really quick it wasn't enough. So even if I do get the Xbox Series S, I'm sorry, confused again. Even if I get the Xbox Series X, the original one, the carbon black one, and let's say, for instance, I get the 1 terabyte, I could just buy an SSD, a proprietary one, or I just buy one to hook up and just distribute my games back and forth through the hard drive, and I won't be missing much. And speaking of that, I have about, as far as Xbox One games, the Xbox Series, I have maybe around 30 to 35 games in that library. It just shows you how much I've been playing the Xbox after the 360. I have about that many games in my library, so I probably won't need no more than 1 terabyte anyway. But I just think at the end of the day, more I talk about it, the more I think about it, it's starting to become much of a good buy or a good thing or a good move to go and try to get the Series X. I mean, after all this time, I feel like this would be a pretty solid move. And nowadays, I don't necessarily have to go to Best Buy or go to Walmart or Amazon or any of these places to buy one. I can buy one second hand for probably half the price of what it's worth. I mean, some of these Xbox consoles aren't necessarily like gangbusters and necessarily in demand. I've seen some on the Facebook Marketplace for like $220. I've seen some at pawn shops around $250. At the most, maybe $300. So I don't necessarily have to get a new one. I just need to make sure that it works and is in good condition, and I'll be all right. I don't need to get, another one where I bring home a box, which I have a handful of these already. I don't need to be bringing that home. I could just go to somewhere and just get one real quick and just put it over here next to my 360. And I really feel at the end of the day, this console is basically a souped up Xbox One X. I don't see it being like necessarily like a next gen console. And if anything, I thought the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro is what should have came out in 2013, and this right here should have been what came out in 2020, like it did. That's why that gap was so small. None of these consoles are necessarily maxing out their potentials, but nevertheless, it to me, I still feel like this is another version of the Xbox One. It's just like 4 or 5 times more powerful, and I think, but I mean that will suit my needs. I mean, even at the end of the day, not necessarily worrying about any console that actually give you big time graphical fidelities and performance. I mean, you got to look at some of these games that was out on the showcase. In general, there were a lot of safe games. None of these games are like over the top trying to push what these consoles can't do anyway. So you're not going to be in a losing situation either way. That's why another reason, like, should I build another PC for some of these Xbox games? Like, nah, like some of these games can run on what I got right now. And in full disclosure, I have a 3900X with a 5700 XT in here. It's like damn near low nowadays. It's like a low to mid range PC. It's not like one of these high ends with a 7900 in it. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought about building a PC to begin with, but now I'm like looking like what games are pushing the limit of what I got now. Like I can't think of one game that's actually pushing that limit. It's like it is what it is. You got a 3900, you're pretty good, especially with newer games. You can see with the recommendations. So I think just for the convenience, because I can ramble about this all day. I think for the convenience, I'll probably just buy a Series S. I said it again, a Series X, and just use it for a Game Pass, box once again, and use it for the convenience. That's what I tried to do with this before, and it didn't work out. But I think this go around, especially with the disc drive, I will probably keep it. And the showcase just gave me more reason to do so. I thought the games was actually pretty cool. In the next few years, I think I'll get my money's worth at the end of the day. And even with that, I collect consoles anyway. It probably won't go anywhere for Christ's sakes. I still have that Xbox One X that basically does not work. It's still sitting here. So let me know what y'all think. I'm pretty sure not many people are thinking the same thing. I don't think nobody's going to jump out the window and buy an Xbox because of the showcase. But I just think at the end of the day, for what I want out of it, I think I'll be okay if I get one. And like I said, my PC is basically going to be used for 2 other genres, and the Game Pass on this device, on any of these devices, is just exactly what it is. And now they're finally trying to make it worth my while, because the last 3 years it just wasn't at all. But let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe. You guys enjoy your day or your night. I'm out. Peace.